This chilling lament is basically known by everybody in Latin America. A woman with long black hair dressed in white, wandering the riverbanks, weeping for her lost children. She is the boogeyman who abducts children, the spirit who punishes unfaithful husbands, and the wraith that appears in the backseat of your car to cause fatal accidents. She is La Llorona, the weeping woman in Spanish. But while today we know her as a figure of terror, her origins are actually far more complex. She didn't start as a monster, but as a figure torn between being a protector and a traitor. Hey there, I'm Ralph and welcome to the Lore Chest, and today we're talking about the legend of La Llorona. To understand La Llorona, we have to go back way before the ghost stories, more specifically 10 years before the Spanish conquest to the land we know today as Mexico. According to historical texts, the Mexica Emperor Moctezuma II began suffering from terrible nightmares, with prophecies warning him that the end of his regime was near. In the midst of this paranoia, rumors began to spread about a woman who would appear at night by the lake Texcoco, weeping in total despair. Driven by fear and curiosity, the emperor sent his men to investigate. The indigenous witness reported hearing a woman shouting two very specific chilling phrases. Sometimes she will scream, "Oh, my children, we must flee far away." And other times, her lament was filled with guilt. "Oh, my children, where shall I take you?" Sadly, the emperor failed to understand these warnings correctly. He didn't realize that this wasn't just a ghost. This was the goddess Chihuahuatl, the snake woman, goddess of motherhood and fertility. She wasn't hunting them, but mourning the massacre that was about to happen when the Spanish ships arrived. After the Spanish conquest, the goddess faded, and the legend evolved. It became a story driven by status, heartbreak, and blood. The most famous version tells of a beautiful, humble indigenous woman named Luisa. She fell in love with a Spanish nobleman, Don Nuño de Montes Claros, and they had a passionate affair that lasted for years, resulting in the birth of 3 little children. Luisa thought they were a family, but she was soon to realize the harsh reality of the caste Spanish system. Don Nuño announced he was leaving her to marry a Spanish woman of his own high social standing. He abandoned Luisa and their children, without a second thought. Consumed by building rage and grief, Luisa took her 3 children to the river and drowned them. And the moment the deed was done, her rage turned into instant regret. She had destroyed the only thing she truly loved, her children. She went mad with grief, and according to the legend, she died searching for them. Now she is cursed to wander the rivers forever, crying out for the children she killed, looking for other children to take their place. As the centuries passed, the legend of La Llorona spread like wildfire, adapting itself to every town, city, and country, and the story changed depending on where you lived. In some versions, she is a woman who died from a botched abortion in the river. In others, she was a negligent mother who left her kids just to go to party, only to find them drowned when she returned. But the core purpose of the story remained the same. It was a tool for control. It kept children inside at night, away from dangerous rivers. And for men, she became a punisher, appearing to drunks and cheaters who wander the streets late at night. The legend traveled south, following the waterways into South America, where the geography itself changed the ghost. In Venezuela, for example, the legend moved to the Llanos, the Great Plains of the country. There, the story tells of a young woman who kills her baby out of desperation and fear of raising it alone. When her family finds out, they curse her. She flees into the plains, becoming a spirit that steals children who are left alone. In Peru, La Llorona is less about water and more about death. She is often associated with the Huacas, ancient ruins and sacred burial sites. Hearing her cry there isn't just scary, it is an omen that someone close to you is going to die very soon. But regardless of the country, one thing links them all: the trauma of colonization and the suffering of women. While the ghost stories are terrifying, many historians believe La Llorona is actually based on a real person, a woman whose life was more tragic than any campfire story, and her name was La Malinche. She was born with the name Malinali in the late 15th century. She was the daughter of a powerful chief, but when her father died, her mother remarried and sold Malinali into slavery to ensure her new son would inherit all the land. Malinali was eventually given as a slave to the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés, but she wasn't just a slave, she was brilliant. She became her interpreter, her advisor, and eventually his lover. She was renamed as Doña Marina, and without her, Cortés and the Spanish army likely couldn't have navigated the politics of the region by then. She helped bridge the two worlds, learning the language of both sides. She gave birth to Cortés' son, historically considered one of the first mestizos, a person of mixed European and indigenous blood. But even then, history repeated itself, because when she was no longer useful to Cortés, he cast her aside. And even worse, he took her son away from her and sent him to Spain. Malinali, la Malinche, became a symbol of betrayal in Mexico. She is often blamed for aiding the conquest, but modern historians view her as a victim of her circumstances. Many believe La Llorona is the spirit of La Malinche. She weeps at night not just because of her own son, but for all her children, the indigenous people, whom she feels she betrayed and lost to their invaders. Is La Llorona a Mexica goddess warning her people? Is she the ghost of a colonial tragedy? Or is she the spirit of La Malinche, weeping for the birth of a new painful nation? Perhaps maybe she is a combination of all the three, a manifestation of cultural trauma that has survived for more than 500 years. We know that there is 1,000 versions of this story, so I invite you to leave the versions you know in the comments down below.
Thanks for watching this video. This is a new project that I'm very proud of, so if you want to keep watching our videos, we have some more that you can watch, and that will make me very happy. Maybe you notice it from my accent, but I'm not a native English speaker. This new project, The Lore Chest, is like a new son of my original channel, El Baúl de los Conocimientos Inútiles. And I'm taking a lot of the videos that I already made in Spanish and like giving it a refreshment, making it a little more actual, up to date, and also, well, trying it in English. It's something very interesting. I'm learning a lot, and well, starting anew is always a challenge. So if you want to help, you can subscribe, you can hit like, all that kind of stuff that old school YouTubers like myself always ask, but I think now it's like a little bit nostalgic, so you can do it again as well, sorry. And that's it, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.